So welcome to episode 4 of season 2 of Pointless Stories with Kaishang FS. We have not had too many unifying themes today, but to be honest, these are my favorite ones because they make the best to re-listen to. Because you never know, even like when you're listening to it for the third time, what is exactly going to happen. So, I guess each approach has its own advantages, but where do you want to start this one, man?
Let's talk about travel a little bit and like travel plans and like travel like bucket lists,
Right.
and kind of things that we've wanted to do and then that we kind of like look forward to doing in the future.
Mm-hmm. Let's hear it. What do you want to do?
Yo.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're back. I think we disconnected for a second.
Oh, my bad. But,
no, all good.
Let's hear what you've got in stock.
I was gonna say, like, you want to make this one about like travel and also like kind of like dream places we want to visit and spend time in and etc.
Yeah, let's do it. Sounds very positive. Yeah.
Sweet, man.
Mm-hmm. So.
All right, करते हैं.
हाँ यार, आपको तो क्या ख्वाहिशात हैं?
भाई मैं तो आपको शायद पहले से पता होगा मैं I want to go to France, you know.
Same.
In fact, I would like to live there for like some time, if possible, for like a year.
Me too. I wanna live in a chateau though, in the south of France.
That sounds like the fucking dream, man. Yeah. They call it La Campagne,
yeah.
Like just the countryside, and it's so like people often say it as a joke, like if you're not getting good internet, they'll say, where do you live, like in the countryside, dans la campagne.
Nice. Yeah.
But it's also like peaceful and away from like city life,
Mm-hmm.
and you can go to the city anytime you want because like Europe has really great public transport.
Mm-hmm.
You just hop on a train and in a few hours you're in a different country.
Yeah, true.
Which is dope, like you can easily like travel to countries around France as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the big thing is, man, like there's something about France, bro. Like it's just got such a unique history and unique architecture, and there's just a mix of different cultures in like say Paris.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a big like influence from former colonies of France.
Yeah.
But still there's a diversity of cultures at the same time, so you can still experience things like great food and have great cultural experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine like walking around Paris at 12 a.m. At midnight in Paris.
Midnight in Paris. Hey.
I didn't even think of that when I said it, but it just connected, man.
I think we got the title.
The serendipity, midnight in Paris.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. So imagine it being midnight in Paris and you're just taking a walk around the city, and man, at night, dude, the city is lit up. Like they call Paris La Ville de Lumière,
mm-hmm.
the city of lights.
Yeah.
Because
dude, so many
at
other
night,
cities
man,
have stolen it. मैं हर छोटे शहर के इस नाम सुनता हूँ.
Oh, but Paris is the original, man. Yeah. That's like, you can't be, and it sounds so amazing in French, man. Like when you say, La Ville de Lumière,
Sure.
Like, luminous, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, you remember the spell in Harry Potter? What was it? Loomis?
I think it was Loomis, yeah.
Yeah, because Loomis is like, it means light, right?
Yeah.
Like in the spell.
Mm-hmm.
And just like a linguistic factoid, but yeah, that's like Lumière is Loomis.
Yeah.
It's like it's probably like a French spell, I guess. You know, like.
Do you know what's weird? I remember just the spells that Hermione cast because I had a crush on her. I remember Alohomora more than I remember, like anything Ron Weasley had to say.
Yeah, man, 100%. I think we would always like how Hermione spoke, even.
Yeah.
Really liked her accent, and
do you
Emma
know
Watson
she grew up
is
in
just.
France?
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's why she looks so good. You don't see English women that nice. She grew up in France, yeah.
Oh, that's man. Honestly, that's surprisingly common, and I never knew this until like much later on.
Mm-hmm.
But did you ever watch the movie The Good Year and Russell Crowe?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You've seen this one?
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
No, of course, yeah.
Dude, that's not one of his more well-known ones. I'm surprised you've seen it, man. But we're seriously the same person, I swear to God.
I agree.
But you know how in the movie, like, they show that he's like he's British, right? Like, he lives in London.
Yeah.
Again, we were talking about bankers and like finance before. He's like a banker in London, you know.
Yeah.
So like, just your textbook, like, just your textbook, like, Wall Street type guy who's like, all about that corporate life.
Yeah.
And they show that he had like an uncle in France who like passes away.
Yeah.
And so when he was younger, and the movie, like, there's like, I really like how the movie is told. Like the storytelling of the movie is like the movie alternates between the present and the past, where they show Russell Crowe's present and then his childhood when he was like, he would visit his uncle in France.
Yeah.
So the uncle used to live on a
Chateau.
Yeah, exactly. And then like with like a vineyard in the back, and they had like grape fields in the back, and then he would like live that farm life with them, and they would be playing cricket in like the fields, because he was English.
Yeah.
Man, when I saw that, I was like, I never knew this, but much later on, it turns out that it's very common for some families to be like half English, half French.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually super common. I even have a friend who's like half British, half French.
Mm-hmm.
And so she speaks English with like a British accent, like a standard like RP-ish British accent.
Yeah.
But then she speaks French with like a perfect Parisian accent.
Nice. Perfect.
And isn't that amazing, dude?
Yeah,
like, it's just crazy, Like, and she's super nice too. Like, she was a really good friend of mine, for a long time.
Right.
But yeah, it's surprisingly common, like the two countries, despite being at war with each other for so long, they really have a lot of like intermixed couples.
True. And also like A Good Year, right? I think this is important to us. I like the title, and guess which year it came out in?
Oh, dude, don't tell me.
2006.
No, dude. Are you serious?
Yeah, Symbolic Peak. Yeah.
Dude, because I'm not joking, but like when I think of a movie that like really impacted me in like a way that like, when I watched the movie, I felt like I became a different person, Like, I'm sure you've had that happen with some movies or TV shows.
Yeah.
Where it's like, when we watched Fight Club, our life, we could say it was like pre-Fight Club and post-Fight Club.
Dude, 100%. Before I became Tyler Durden, yeah.
And I kid you not, man, A Good Year is one of those movies. And to think that it came out in 2006 is just it's too fitting.
Yeah, I agree. Like, that class of movie that you're talking about, that has to be like, like our all-time favorites. But A Good Year is it's such a cinematographically beautiful movie, you know what I mean? Like, it's just beautiful to look at.
That's spot on, man. Honestly, you put it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
It's just everything about it, how it's shot, how the story is told, is is like a pleasure to look at. You know, even so many of the scenes don't have any dialogue, but
Yeah.
they're still like such a treat to watch because they're just shot so well. All of the scenes.
Exactly, and like when I say I want to live in a chateau in France, this is what I mean. There are a few scenes of him like riding a motorcycle down the fields and everything. I don't want to drive a motorcycle, but I want to walk through the fields, and I want it to be that color of green, that shade of green. You know what I mean?
Dude, man, you're making me want to move there like next week, man. I'm like starting to dread my current life. Of,
यार
like,
चलते हैं मैं भी फारिग हूँ चलते चलो
भाई कसम है यार मजाक के अलावा आपने जो डिस्क्रिप्शन दिया है वहाँ का ना और वहाँ की जो आजादी का and like just the landscape, the setting and like your feel होती है. All of those things are making me want to move there like immediately, man.
यार हमारे प्लान भी वो बनाता है कि एक शेटो 2 शेटो कल डिज़ाक फ्रांस में साउथ फ्रांस.
बड़ा कमाल का सीन हो गया है क्योंकि when I look at pictures of their countryside, man, it just looks like paradise, dude. Like, you know, I start to feel like अगर
दुनिया में
क्या
कोई
कहते हैं?
जन्नत हो.
Oh, bro, you stole my words, Mike. That's right. Stole it. अगर दुनिया में जन्नत है तो यार यही है मतलब even more than like Kashmir for some reason. I know people say that about Kashmir a lot.
मगर यार it can't compete with the south of France.
No doubt, man. Because like, I mean, no, Kashmir is beautiful in its own right, but then, bro, any French countryside is just something else, man. I mean, I think even Inglourious Bastards, one of the reasons like the movie is so like some of the scenes are so vivid in my memory is because the scene opens with them being in the countryside of France, you know?
Yeah.
Like they're just when the Shoshana scene, right?
Yeah.
Like he's like looking for her.
Yeah.
And those scenes, man, the place just looks gorgeous, bro. And the way those guys live on the farm, it just looks like the perfect way to live life, you know?
True. I would do that, man. मगर यार बात यह है कि हमारे प्लान मुकम्मल होने के लिए काफी फाइनेंशियल फ्रॉड कमिट करना पड़ेगा तो प्लान करते हुए.
ये बात भी है यार कि पैसे तो कहीं से आने होंगे पर मेरा ख्याल है यार कि ये जगह खासकर अगर आप कोई ऐसी जगह में हो जो थोड़ा शहरों से दूर है वहाँ महंगाई कम होगी. It's not gonna be too expensive, you know?
हाँ सिर्फ शेटू की बात कर रहे हो बाकी सब तो ठीक है.
ओ भाई हाँ पुआ का पूरा अगर शैटो खरीदना हो वो तो बड़ा महंगा होगा सीन यार.
हाँ 15 मिलियन हो जाएंगे कर लो.
सही है यार. पर वहाँ मेरा ख्याल है कि जहाँ तक मैंने सुना है कि you know Parisians get a reputation for being like really rude, right? And they are, you know. That's like not
it's not
like
false.
it's not yeah it's not false, you know. It definitely comes from there's some substance to it. But what everyone will tell you, man, is like people outside of Paris, especially in like smaller parts of France, are like really really friendly and really like hospitable, you know.
True. I agree. And just a thought that comes to mind, right, is I don't know if you've seen Good Will Hunting, but there's a scene where Robin Williams is critiquing Matt Damon, because Matt Damon is a kid who's read, you know, every book in the library. He can tell you everything. But Robin Williams tells him, you know, mate, you haven't seen any of these with your own eyes, and I have. Right? And that's how I feel कभी कि हम दोनों यार सब जानते हैं मगर काफ़ी ये बात अधूरी है कि हमें वो एहसास पता नहीं तो करना ज़रूर है.
वाकई यार खासकर ऐसी जगहों के बारे में जहाँ you know we're so interested in them but we've never actually been there. जैसा कि पाकिस्तान का भी यही सीन है. एबटाबाद तो हाँ बिल्कुल यार. और हुंजा का तो बहुत सुना है, you know? बल्कि हुंजा तो ऐसी जगह है जहाँ like the average Pakistani has probably not been there, you know.
वहाँ
जो लोग ज़्यादा travel के शौकीन हैं, जो लोग you know, people who were like explorers, they would go to Hunza, you know. आमतौर पे जैसे मरी लोग बहुत जाते हैं वहाँ, you know, and तो हाँ bro, बात सही है आपकी, ये चीजें हमने, we've never seen them in 3D, but France is such a recurring theme, man, and not just the countryside for sure. I think if I want to like spend a lot of time there, that's where I would go.
Yeah.
But even just Paris, man, because we had this conversation last time, but like cities have really grown on me, and like, you know, I never thought it would happen. Like I always pictured myself as someone who would prefer like a suburban or a community, like gated community type setting.
Yeah.
Like I always describe my dream place as Dukhan, where you're just kind of in a secluded community where, like, you know, it's just people, everyone knows each other, and you're just in like an insular community, you know.
यार मेरे भी ख्वाब है और आपकी भाभी वहाँ से.
यार मैं वही कहने वाला था वैसे कि आप तो इस जगह से वाकिफ हो गए क्योंकि भाभी वहाँ से.
जी.
और हाँ ब्रो, मेरा हमेशा ख्वाब होता था, आप मतलब वालिदैन से भी आप पूछ लें, क्योंकि हम आपको याद होगा अभी तो अच्छी सड़क बन गई है वहाँ, you know, you can just take the freeway and get there. पर एक जमाने में वहाँ कच्ची सड़क होती थी पूरी, वहाँ मतलब रास्ता था ही नहीं, you know.
सही.
And हम लोग फिर भी वहाँ जाते थे, through like all the dirt track, we would drive through there and get to Dukhan, क्योंकि हमारे कोई खास दोस्त वहाँ रहते थे दुकान में. तो अक्सर we would go there for the weekend, you know, like it would be like about an hour long road trip to get there. Then we'd spend the weekend there, and I always like those like road trips are a huge part of my childhood, you know, because it's like हमें लगता था यार हम कहीं कुछ खास जगह जा रहे हैं, and we used to, you know, it was, Dukhan actually was something special. And रास्ते में, yeah, you would see a sign that said camels. It would show a picture of a camel. तो रास्ते में यार हम ऊँट काउंट करते हुए जाते थे, you know, I saw camel here, there. And आपको भी पता होगा शायद ये यार ऐसी यादें, आपकी भी कुछ शायद से मतलब यादें होंगी.
मेरे भी वही है. और एक व्यू पॉइंट होता था वहाँ, याद है कि it's the tallest point in Qatar, वो दुकान में है, कि वहाँ
जी
हाँ बड़ी खूबसूरत है, और उसकी बीच भी काफी खूबसूरत है भाई.
हाँ यार वहाँ बीचेस भी बहुत सही है, और उस वक्त यार, और अभी भी शायद सेम ही होगा, पर गोरे बहुत होते थे दुकान में, you know. There were many like English or Australian expats there.
और यार
English तो खासकर बहुत थे.
वहाँ की जो मैकडॉनल्ड्स है, मतलब वो काफी पुराना है. मैं पिछले 2 महीने पहले दुकान गए थे, वही मैकडॉनल्ड्स है भाई, कि कुछ चेंज नहीं हुआ, वही है.
Fair scene, और पता है पहले क्योंकि वहाँ एक थिएटर होता था, पता है, सिनेमा हॉल होता था.
हाँ, दुकान सिनेमा.
और पता है वहाँ the tickets were free, man. You could just watch a movie for free.
हाँ यार याद है, मतलब
यार
खूबसूरत था.
और वहाँ यार community वाली feeling आती थी, because everyone kind of knew each other, you know, because they would see each other at the community center or at those clubs they used to have. And everyone was in QP, right? So they were all like members of like the club there. There was a beach club and there was a Dukhan club. और Dukhan club में मतलब हर एक चीज होती थी, you know. There was like a massive swimming pool where that wouldn't be too crowded, you know. So it was like the perfect setting. They had ping pong. They even had like a tennis court and like a pool table, and you know, it was like a country club setting, you know. आप वहाँ मतलब पूरा दिन chill कर सकते थे.
हाँ यार, मतलब जो उसकी वहाँ की दुकान की जो फैसिलिटीज थे ना, मतलब हमारे वहाँ तो थे नहीं भाई, मगर मैं काफ़ी जेलस हूँ वो बंदा और बंदी की जो वहाँ अपनी बचपना गुजरा यार, कि हम
सही में यार कसम से यार, I'm completely with you, because if you went to school there, man, your life was really good, dude, you know. और
country club kids, you know, like the posh kids, rich kids, वो थे.
बिल्कुल, it's like it was the Long Island of Qatar, you
Oh,
know.
nice, yeah, Long Island kids, and we were like the Connecticut kids, you know, like उतने लगले.
Bro, Connecticut में तो hedge fund वाले होते हैं, you know, we're not those cunts. But हम city वाले, हम ऐसे proper city वाले लौंडे थे, you know, because we were used to living in the city and like, you know, हमारे यहाँ पता नहीं इतने खास नहीं होते थे clubs, you know. We had like a Falcon Club back in the day, which is okay.
Yeah.
But दुकान वाला scene नहीं था, bro.
और यार गजल क्लब भी थे, याद है?
गजल क्लब भी, हाँ सही याद किया
काफी वक्त वहाँ भी गुजरा था यार, कि वहाँ यार ये दूसरी मतलब जो भी मुल्क की हर स्कूल की बंदियाँ ये सब देख सकते थे कि यार वहाँ कैसीनो रॉयल की ऐसे फ्री स्क्रीनिंग थे. और यार मतलब फिल्म तो PG-13 नहीं है भाई, कि हम छोटे बच्चे थे फिर भी पूरे देखे.
सही है यार, हम तो ऐसे we wouldn't give a fuck back then, you know. We started watching South Hall when we were like 12.
Yeah.
Sorry, South Park.
Yeah, मगर यार हम बर्बाद हो गए यार South Park. मतलब South Park is something that I remember Scooby-Doo when he was in university, he'd have it in his bedroom TV. Like बंदा तब भी तरक्की कुछ नहीं की. But I love South Park, man, and I feel like our creative process is slightly similar to Matt Stone and Trey Parker, कि हर episode pointless होते हैं मगर खूबसूरत होते हैं and there's no continuity, you know what I mean? It's very similar.
Exactly, man, exactly. It's just as if like two stoners made a show and it's like that's the end product, you know, कि कुछ ना कोई सिर है ना कोई पैर है. It's just like it's just that it's about the journey, you know. जी
वाकई शराब स्टोनर्स की कहानी. और यार ये जो गजल क्लब की स्विमिंग पूल थे, कि जो वहाँ की रेस्टोरेंट्स थे, आपको नाइफ याद है जो हमारे स्कूल में था?
हाँ बिल्कुल यार.
तो ऐसे
नाइफ को कैसे पूछ सकते.
हाँ यार, तो ऐसे बंदे वहाँ मिलते थे कि स्कूल की काफी बंदे तो वहाँ मिलते थे, मगर जो दूसरे लोग हैं ना उससे मिलकर यार अच्छे लगते थे, कि it was very international, you know.
हाँ जी यार. और वहाँ हाँ bro, सब you would find like all nationalities, you know. I remember अक्षय के साथ भी मैं कई दफा वहाँ गया था. क्योंकि हम दोनों we would play table tennis back then, you know. तो we would go to Al Ghazal Club और yeah man.
हाँ याद है कहा है, सही है.
हाँ यार रजानी, आप क्योंकि आप दोनों तो एक ही बस में हुआ करते थे ना एक जमाने में.
यार मेरे हर वीकेंड में रजानी के घर पे था यार, मैं वेन और वॉरेन सब वहाँ जाते थे और हाँ यार वहाँ वक्त गुजरते थे
यार. इसीलिए आपकी इतनी अच्छी दोस्ती है, क्योंकि मैं वो एक बार पूछने वाला था आपसे कि you know you guys have been good friends for so long. Even once the three of us hung out, you know, we went for shisha and then to the mall. And you know, तो फिर मुझे याद आया था यार, हाँ आपकी काफी पहले से चिलिंग का सीन था.
हाँ यार, हम छोटे उम्र से साथ थे, कि क्रिकेट के दीवाने थे सब, तो इसलिए हम मिलते थे. और सिर्फ यार उसकी बेडरूम डोर आपको याद है, पूरे ये न्यूज़पेपर वाली कटआउट्स था क्रिकेट के.
हाँ यार, हाँ ब्रो मुझे याद है. और वहाँ हम लोग क्रिकेट खेलते थे उसके हॉलवे में.
हाँ यार वो परफेक्ट था भाई, कि खेलने के लिए. मैं वहाँ की मशहूर बैट्समैन कुछ नहीं था, कि हमेशा काफी मुश्किल है वहाँ खेलना, मगर मतलब खेलने में दिल लगता है भाई.
वाकई यार. एक बात तो यार, हम लोग वहाँ खेले थे उसके. I bowled. No, he was bowling. And I whacked it right and it hit him straight in the face, man.
Nice. That's why it's different now, right? But यार उसकी bowling action काफी खराब थे भाई, बदसूरत है.
यार वो इलाका जो था ना, वो दरअसल I'm glad they moved out of there eventually, because वो घर मुझे लग रहा था कि तो टूटने वाला है bro.
हाँ ये तो मतलब काफी पुराने थे, और यार लिफ्ट का भी काम नहीं करता था, तो ये 5वीं फ्लोर तक चढ़ना पड़ता था भाई.
सही में यार बड़ा ऑफ सीन था you know it's like और वो बिल्डिंग इतनी पुरानी थी कि मुझे लग रहा था कि अगर तोड़ेंगे नहीं ये खुद ब खुद टूट जाएगी
हाँ यार और हम ऊपर क्रिकेट खेल रहे हैं
सही में but नहीं और उसकी फैमिली भी बड़ी अच्छी थी they were always like whenever I would come over even when he moved places when he went to the new house मैं उसके बाद भी उसके घर कई बार गया था you know and his new place was really nice you know अच्छी खासी it was like a new building and like new a nice like apartment and everything you know and he had a whole like ping pong table in there
हम वहाँ खेला था भाई याद है 15 में
कहाँ क्या चीज
हमने पिंग पोंग खेला था 2015 में वही
उसके घर पे
हाँ
यार ना करे सही में
हाँ यार हम वहाँ कुछ देर तो चिल की थी हम दोनों सिर्फ
अबे यार मुझे बिल्कुल याद नहीं did we play GTA or something वाली शायद
I think so yeah कि उसके पास तो कंसोल भी था
यार मुझे कुछ याद आ रहा है अब यार
मैं गाड़ी वहाँ पार्क की और हम घर के अंदर गए काफी देर वहाँ चिल कर और शीशे पीने गए
हाँ bro शीशे के लिए हम we went to free janase right
और चिकन हाउस गए थे उसके बाद
जी
जो 5 बजे तक शर्मा नहीं था हमें तो वक्त गुजरना पड़ा तब तक
हाँ ब्रो नहीं फिर सीन था यार मैं तो भूल ही गया हम उसके घर भी गए थे पर मुझे याद है यार जब भी मैं उसके यहाँ जाता था you know
काफी
his parents were bro same but his parents were always so nice man you know his mom would be like, do you want some juice? Or, you know, but bina puche, she would like bring us stuff to eat and drink. And she was so sweet, man. Like, you know, his parents were really chill.
They are, man. And I keep forgetting कि उसकी एक बहन भी था बड़ी मैं हमेशा भूल जाता हूँ यार कि मैंने देखा ही नहीं उसको
मैं शायद एक दफा मिला था यार क्योंकि I remember she was living with him at some point, like not living but like staying with them, because she got married and then they moved somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
But then he came to Doha to like visit them and stuff. तो एक दफा शायद मुलाकात हुई थी मेरी पर अक्सर यार हमें उसी से मिलता था. She was just no one else at home, you know, just him and sometimes his mom was there, you know.
हाँ यार और काफी अच्छे माहौल था यार.
हाँ ब्रो बिल्कुल. क्या उस टाइम पता है रूमस्केप भी मैं बहुत खेलता था और वो मैं ऐसे बंदे हैं जो you know at some point people grew out of RuneScape, they stopped playing it, but हम यार काफी टाइम तक हम खेलते रहे थे, you know, like even late in high school we were still playing it.
Nice.
तब तक तो हम दोनों ही बचे थे, हम दोनों बैट्समैन टिके हुए थे क्रीज पे, you know, who were like who were still like
the Night's Watch.
Yeah, dude, exactly, man. There were 2 night watchmen on the team. दो tail ender हम लोग टिके हुए थे, you know. But yeah, man, we played for a long time, and that's why we would be a lot of times we would be on the phone. And then we'd be playing RuneScape, you know, like we're in like a clan war together and something like that. But अब तो कुछ उसका पता नहीं और you know, I don't even know where he is, man.
Yeah, buddy, same. Cause I'm not on Facebook. मैं सिर्फ वहाँ उससे राब्ता रखा था और आजकल पता नहीं यार मगर काफी फिट बंदा है यार.
हाँ चिल बंदा था यार, उसके साथ काफी हमने चिलिंग की है, you know.
कि कभी कूल नहीं था. हाँ कूल नहीं था मगर फिट था.
हाँ फिट बंदा. But he used to love going to city center, तो अक्सर we used to go there together, you know.
हाँ यार उसकी पहली सजेशन ये था कि हम मॉल जाते और मैंने उससे कहा यार हम थोड़ी 16-year-old white chicks है.
वाकई यार हमें इतना शौक भी नहीं है यार मॉल शॉल का ना, you know. हम वैसे we used to go when we were younger, but even then like I was never a huge fan, but वो वाला सीन यार बच्चों वाली जो चीजें होती थी वो तो मजा आता था, you know, which I guess we don't do those anymore, like go-karting and laser tag and
bowling.
yeah, और क्या क्या होता था यार, you know the rides that they had at City Center.
Oh yeah, काफी मतलब मुझे सब कुछ याद है कि कुछ ना कुछ तो मेरे हाई स्कोर तो था यार.
नहीं फिर से bowling में तो मजा आता था वैसे यार, कोई शक नहीं.
बॉलिंग सही है. और यार ये जो एक मतलब एक ये था ना कि एक आइस माउंटेन था और एक ये काफ़ी स्लाइड्स भी अच्छे थे कि जंगल जिम थे और ट्रैम्पोलिन्स थे, सब थे यार. काफ़ी वक्त गुजरने के लिए सही जगह था.
अबे यार आइस माउंटेन को तो भूल गया. वो ये था जो आपको टायर में डालते हैं फिर नीचे छोड़ते हैं.
वही
तो क्या मजे का सीन था ब्रो.
कि मुझे ज्यादातर याद नहीं मगर यार याद है कि काफी मजे का था.
बहुत मजा आया था यार. हम लोग पता नहीं एक बार गए थे, maybe it was us together, I'm not sure, but it was so fun, man. Like they push you down the slope, and
if you're going backwards, it's wonderful.
Oh, that's so scary, man. Yeah. Holy shit, dude. Yeah. But dude, speaking of going backwards, man, मैं भी ये याद कर रहा था उस दिन ना. We used to go to Inland Sea sometimes when I was younger. And once, man, I went with one of the, you know, those like the guys who do this professionally, like driving in cruise and stuff.
Yeah.
So I went with one of those guys, right? Mm-hmm. And he had like a stunt control, like one of the. At the time, it was like, you know, the ones with the big tire at the back, right?
Yeah, the VTC, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's the one we were in, and he was doing all kinds of like crazy, like, you know, stunting and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did this one thing, man, like where he goes on top of the dune, mm-hmm. and he comes down like in reverse.
Nice.
Dude, it's so fucking scary, man. Holy shit.
Oh yeah. But it's actually pretty like safe, you know. It's pretty calming. It's reverse is fine, but if you're going sideways, you're in trouble. But other than that, it's nice. But when was this?
Fair enough. Well, I don't know, dude. It was so terrifying the first time. I was like, man, how is this guy doing it? You know, like, and the slightest thing goes wrong, you feel like you can just tip over.
Yeah, true. Like मैं काफी दीवाना था सहरा का, तो छोड़ गई.
नहीं यार, मुझे याद है आप तो एक जमाने में अक्सर जाया करते थे वहाँ.
जी.
हाँ. पर नहीं यार, आपके तो मुझे याद है आपने बताया था कि बहुत अफसोस की बात है, पर काफी दोस्तों का भी you know इंतकाल हो गया था उसका.
सही.
जी नहीं बड़ी अफसोस की बात है, क्योंकि वहाँ खतरनाक तो होता है, और मैंने तो सिर्फ वीडियोस देखे हैं, पर the accidents are pretty fucked up, you know, in the dunes.
यार, और पता नहीं एक ज़माने के बाद वो मतलब कीड़ा चल जाते हैं भाई, कि उसके बाद लगते नहीं कि जाना है.
नहीं यार, बिल्कुल वो तो मैं समझ सकता हूँ यार. It is pretty traumatic, you know, like people you know, and they like they end up in these situations.
Mm-hmm. But यार हम कहाँ आ गए भाई? हम पेरिस में थे और ये सहरा पर आ गए.
हाँ bro, I mean it's just कहाँ से कहाँ यार. मुझे लगता है क्योंकि Doha is such a anytime we talk, I think Doha is gonna come up, and I know most of these things are quite normal for you, like, you know, क्या जो बातें हुई हैं, you know, like the caramel popcorn at the mall, or you know, the go-karting, or ये कौन से ये जो है पुराने Inland Sea Falcon Club, you know, it's just क्योंकि आप दोहा में आपके लिए तो आम बात है, you know, तो But मेरे लिए यार मतलब when I get nostalgic, I can always talk to you about these places,
यार
you know, and
वैसे
तो दोहा तो यार
अलादीन्स किंगडम याद है
बिल्कुल यार कौन भूल सकता है
यार काफी अच्छे जमाने थे हाँ ज्यादातर कुछ नहीं था यहाँ करने के लिए मगर काफी खूब याद है
यार आपने बहुत बड़ी सही बात की है क्योंकि Aladdin's Kingdom तो only the OGs remember it, you know?
हाँ
Because that's from back in like Toy Town, if you remember that place.
Oh dude, yeah. मेरे एक ज़माने की यार ख्वाहिशात ख्वाब ये थे कि मेरे पास इतने पैसे हो कि मैं सब कुछ खरीद सकता और यार जिंदगी कैसे बदलते हैं
यार ये बात तो सही है आपकी यार जिंदगी का कुछ पता नहीं but Toy Town yeah I used to look forward to going to places like that you know when I was a kid but yeah getting back you know travel का theme था तो उसके वाले से दोबारा से बात करते हैं शुरू करते हैं तो France is like a guarantee for both of us right we want to spend like some time out there like just traveling the whole country and it's like very easy to travel around the country and every part of France I think has something unique and special to offer
true.
So I would love to spend just like a year you know like traveling the whole country like getting to meet people there getting to know people learning a little bit about the place as I go as well and just immersing myself in the culture to the extent that I can.
Yeah, I'd love to, you know, have a mini holiday within a holiday and do like a week or a couple weeks in a ski village, you know?
Yeah, dude, that'd be sick. Even Switzerland would be good for that, honestly.
Yeah, but like I've been to Switzerland and like यार काफी personality कम है जगह के. So I think I prefer France.
But where in Switzerland though?
I've been to Lausanne, Interlaken, Zurich.
You went to Lausanne? No way.
Yeah. It's decent, but like जैसे मैंने कहा कि काफी क्या कहते हैं यार काफी शरीफ जगह है.
वो तो है यार वो तो है ये तो मैंने सुना है especially compared to France it's like more straight edge and more like upper middle class you know almost everyone there is upper middle class you know
exactly but that's not my problem with it I like rich places but काफी personality lacking है यार France मुझे थोड़ा ज़्यादा अच्छा लगता है
ये तो मैं समझ सकता हूँ यार क्योंकि I think because Switzerland is like it's also like a banking and financial hub, right? So I think the whole like straight edge thing is kind of influenced by that as well. Just like this culture of like bankers, you know, that's kind of how they are, right? Like pretty like predictable and like clean cut and just, you know, manicured. And I think Switzerland as a place reflects that as well. But Lausanne, man, I had one of my really good friends used to live in Lausanne.
Nice.
I think he still does, but I'm not sure. But he's French originally, like he's from around Lyon.
Nice.
But then he moved to Lausanne eventually and was living there with his girlfriend, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And him as well, I met in Australia. You know, he was there on an exchange program, and. You know, he was like, he was going to go back after, you know, we used to smoke a lot together and hang out a lot, you know?
Yeah.
And
I didn't know you used to smoke meat, but it's very interesting.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
But, dude, same about that. Smoked meat is really good, man. Smoked, like, turkey especially, you know?
Smoked turkey. Briskets are just something else, buddy. I love all of it.
Dude. Briskets are special, man. You know, in Jewish American culture, briskets are so big.
Yeah.
Like, you may have noticed that on like shows as well, right? It's always like a stereotypical thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are like kind of like bagels as well. You know, like it started as like
Yeah.
Jewish American delicacy.
Dude, just as a
Uh,
reference for, one of our favorite shows, I think you mean Bagel.
Bagel. Oh my god, dude.
Oh, dude.
Dude, I can't tell you, I've heard that same exact debate, like, in real life, too.
No way. Did you go to a community college in Australia?
Oh my god. No, man, because here, like,
Yeah.
especially in the Midwest
Mhm.
and in Canada, parts of Canada as well, some people actually say bagel.
Yeah, in the Canadian accent, I can understand it because they mispronounce a lot of weird shit.
They do, man. And Minnesota is, like, pretty close to Canada, culturally as well.
Yeah. I get the Minnesotans getting it that way as well.
Yeah, man, for sure. You may have noticed that on, like, you must remember How I Met Your Mother and, like,
Yeah.
Marshall's family's from Minnesota,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And you must have noticed they sound kind of Canadian
Yeah.
a little bit, and a lot of the stuff they like as well is like Canadian, like that they have in common with Canadians, like playing hockey, ice fishing,
Yeah.
and just like snowmobiling, and it's just a lot of the stuff they like is they have in common.
True. But not to digress, buddy. Where? Switzerland?
Yeah, other places we'd
Yeah.
like to
I'd like
we'd like
to
to
do
live
Lake
in. Or
Como. Lake Como is fine by me because of the George Clooney.
where's Lake Como?
It's in between Switzerland and Italy, and it's
Oh, sick.
yeah. So it's on the water, and the lake is right between these two countries, and George Clooney lives there. So
Oh, of
it's
course
also
he
very-
does.
It's also very upper echelon of the rich dudes who live
Oh,
there.
of course, man.
So
Of course, man. Yeah, there's definitely places like that in the area.
yeah,
Like Monaco and Luxembourg come to mind, man.
Sure.
Monaco especially
yeah,
is like made for rich people, Like those are people. Like Monaco doesn't have any people of its own.
no,
Like others just move to Monaco because it's a tax haven,
yeah,
and so it consists entirely of like rich people from other European countries,
true. But it's not a place that
Yeah.
I like to visit. Monaco has really nice like mountain roads, and I'd like to drive through those. But like not really. Where else would you like? I want to do Italy, because the food.
Italy
is,
would be dope, man.
The food is amazing, man. I'd love to do Milan.
Yeah, and the scenery too, man. Because you mentioned on the border with Switzerland and Italy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing, is it where the Swiss Alps are?
Yeah.
And the Italian Alps too, probably, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that makes so much sense that Clooney would live in a place like that, because that's like, you need to be very rich to live in right by the Alps,
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that's what you want, man. That's the life. Even my buddy in Lausanne, like I think he lived in, because Lausanne's a city, right?
Yeah.
But then where he lived, I assumed it was like just a little more secluded, like away from the main city.
Yeah, it's not a very big city. It's like a small, center square of town. That's it.
Okay, fair enough. Because, yeah, man, when I saw his, like, there were times when we would FaceTime and he would, like, be taking a walk and, like, he would go outside to smoke a joint.
Right.
He lived in, like, a cottage-type home, which I thought was dope.
Yeah. They're mostly
Like,
that kind of homes.
That's amazing, man. Because, yeah, he showed me it, and there was, like, a nice fireplace, and then, like, when you go to the backyard, you can see, like, the mountains in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And it honestly looked gorgeous, man. I was like, I wouldn't mind living there either.
Yeah.
But France is like closer, has more history that I'm interested in too,
True.
and even architecture in the cities that I'd like to see, like
yeah.
because like the cathedrals in Paris,
So beautiful.
like even just like the old buildings or old court buildings.
Yeah.
They look fucking breathtaking, man.
They do. Switzerland doesn't have that kind of architecture, so I think France wins that one.
France definitely does, man. But what other places would you wanna would you want to spend time in? Like, are there any outside of Europe or even inside Europe? Like Italy and France so far we discussed. Italy, I kind of, like the thing is, man, I know it's very scenic and it's like architecture as well, all of those things, food as well.
Yeah.
But there's something, man, where I think in some ways, like, I don't know, something about it that makes me reluctant to go. Because,
The mafia.
no, not even that. It's like, it's like, I think in terms of like infrastructure and stuff, they haven't like developed as much, you know?
Yeah, it's slightly more of a village vibe, but
Mm-hmm.
I understand. But like the thing that is wonderful in Italy, and I don't like this one aspect of French history or like French culture, which is their food. Because the French eat a bunch of, they have good food, but they eat a bunch of weird shit. Yeah, which I wouldn't want
They eat a
to.
lot of weird shit.
Yeah, but Italy, they have really good cafes and they have really good pasta and pizza. So I'd want to go for just, culinary. Again, I don't want to call myself a foodie because someone's going to beat me to death with a stick. But but
Oh
like,
man, you have like a very refined palate, you know. I will say, man,
Yeah.
and man, I'll tell you this, dude. Like, if when it comes to coffee,
yeah,
Italy like just completely destroys France, you know, in the coffee
absolutely.
department.
Yeah,
So like, if you're looking for like espressos or even like just traditional coffee in cafes,
yeah,
and gelato and that kind of like coffee culture,
yeah,
Italy is like, in terms of quality of coffee, Italy is your go-to.
absolutely.
But France does have a thriving like cafe culture, you know, where people, the coffee's not like the main thing there, the thing that they thrive
vibe,
at, but
the
it's
vibe.
more so, yeah, and the vibe, and also just like all of their baked goods, you know, like
Oh,
croissants.
so good,
There's
yeah.
also like, man, the pain au chocolat aussi,
Chocolate, yeah.
that one's amazing, dude,
It is.
and there's a brioche as well. If you've
Yeah,
if you had
brioche
this
is
one,
nice, yeah.
yeah, man, all of them are so good, you know, and that's kind of like it's more of like a bakery, like a boulangerie,
Yeah.
but then they have like coffee that they serve with it, you know.
Sure. And by the way, like our podcast's display picture is Cafe de Flore, which is in Paris.
Dude, I've seen that one as like your in a poem of yours, I want to say.
Yeah.
And it's so emblematic of the city, you know, like
Yeah.
it just has such a long history of like cafe culture.
Yeah, I have a friend whose name's Malaika. She got married and she was there last year at Cafe de Flore. So I asked her, "Did you just get married together?" And she said, "Yep." So
Nice.
it's worth it. Yeah, it's Pakistani.
Man, classic Malika, man.
Yeah.
You know, just
What's a nice name as well? I like her name.
no doubt, man. It is a nice name. I always liked Malika Arora, man. Not gonna lie.
Oh, I don't like Malaika Arora is like the one person I don't like. Every other Malaika is Pakistani that I know. और यार मतलब अलग लेवल की है मलाइका अरोरा तो ठीक है वैसे खान साहब की तो मतलब रिश्तेदार है तो कुछ कह नहीं सकते भाई की
No, but in her prime, man, I always thought she was really hot.
हाँ मुझे वो ज़माना याद नहीं भाई हम तो ऐश्वर्या की दीवाने थे
मैं ये समझ सकता है यार पर छैया में आपको याद होगा जब
हाँ ऐसे अब तो शाहरुख की भी बंदे है सही याद है
बड़ा कमाल का सीन था यार वो
मगर यार again apologies for digressing Italy तो हम करते हैं I want to do one of those Western Italian towns like Palermo Sicily from the mafia I want to do one of those
yeah man I mean if you're looking for that kind of history and that's interesting as well like kind of just the history of that world you know which is like a lot of movies have been made on it a lot of documentaries as well a lot of movies we like as in particular have been based on that and if you want to explore that you know that world I think the places you should go to man even more than Sicily it would be Calabria
nice
if you've heard of this,
How
of
do you
this
know
region.
that?
It's in southern Italy still.
Yeah.
But it's the new Sicily, man. Like, it used to be Sicily that was like the more,
Right.
you know, the more prominent presence in that world. But now it's all Calabria, man. Like, it's still in the south, but it's like, you know how Italy looks like a boot? Like, they often call it the boot.
Yeah.
So it's like it's still at the boot, like at the bottom, but then not as far down south as Sicily.
Right.
But that's where you want to go, man, if you want to explore this at all.
Right.
It's really crazy, man, how like the level of influence they have over there.
Right. But like apart from those places, I don't want to do Germany. I don't want to do Eastern Europe. I don't want to do. I don't think any other parts of Europe. I want to do London. Not London, but like you remember we had the conversation in Oxford and the British countryside.
Yes, 100%.
A little bit of Scotland. Not so much. Yeah. And I kind of want to go to the Nordic regions just to check it out, you know? Not too long as well. Just check out how the 80s are doing. And what else? I don't have
That's
too
hilarious,
many,
man.
I don't have too many like third world travel vibes. कि मुझे Asia जाना ही नहीं. I want to do like maybe a little bit of the Western world, you know, like I want to do Australia, Canada, and again, I'll tell you, but like Australia and Canada, I want to do one city and one like outback, you know, like places that are completely almost uninhabited. And I want to do the States, but I want to do the States in like I want to go to Yellowstone. I want to go to what's the name of the place, buddy?
Yosemite.
Yeah, Yosemite, Wyoming, those places, you know.
The Grand Canyon.
Yeah, I want to do those places.
Yeah, these are great calls, you know, and
from the westerns.
Yeah, dude.
The places from the westerns, yeah.
100%. No, man, my like bucket list looks almost identical to yours. Germany is one that I never thought I would be interested in, but man, I had a layover in Frankfurt. Like I flew Lufthansa last time. So I had a layover there for some time, and also like you know, since it was Lufthansa, everyone was German, like flight attendants, everyone else. Yeah. And just from spending time in Frankfurt, man, I got like a really nice and like inviting vibe from the place where I felt like it could be. It seemed like a good place to be a young person, you know. And I've heard the same about Berlin as well. Yeah. In fact, the one friend that I told you about, half English, half French friend. Yeah. She lives in Berlin.
Nice.
And she moved there after, you know, like after living in both France and England. So like, I feel like it is, Berlin's definitely known for being like a good city to be a young person, you know?
Yeah.
And I would like to experience some of that, you know? See, I've heard a lot about the youth culture in that place. It's sad because a lot of the country's history's been tainted by the Nazis.
Yeah.
But in other ways, like in many ways, like it's like made big contributions, you know, and there's a lot to be discovered there and like a lot to explore. And Bavaria is like very scenic as well, you know.
Yeah, I want to do Munich. I like Bavaria the most, but maybe Munich.
Yeah, man, and Bavaria is quite different too. Apparently, you know, like
it is.
I had a couple of friends from that area, like from Munich, and they told me that if they spoke Bavarian and to someone speaking German, like pure Bavarian, they wouldn't be able to communicate.
Yeah, true. But Germany's kind of almost if we have the time.
It is interesting, man. The kebabs there are good too. I've heard the Turkish food is good, you know.
You might as well just go to Turkey, you know.
Yeah, Turkey would be, man, Turkey I would like to go to. I think
Yeah.
you've been there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's nice, it's nice.
Yeah, man, I'd like to go, man. I had another friend who went there recently, and it looks beautiful, dude. And food, obviously, food and coffee, you know, the two things we love.
Yeah.
I bet are just next level up there, you know?
Food's beautiful and the culture's nice and the people are alright. Turkey's alright, but it's way too touristy, you know?
I believe it. I believe you,
I
man.
want to do like interior Turkey, no Istanbul, somewhere
Fair
else.
enough.
But Turkey's fine, and of course, not to mention the OG Pakistan. And
Yeah, dude.
yeah. Where else, buddy?
You know, man, Belgium is another one I want to spend time in, like a long time.
Yeah, like
it's like
Sesta, France. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
But no, there's other things that like Belgium is like kind of the center of, like,
chocolate.
like you know the Hague, right? The International Criminal Court.
Yeah, yeah. आपको
हाँ।
अच्छा लगता है? Nice.
भी मतलब तारीख के हवाले से
हाँ,
सियासत
हाँ,
के हवाले से
सही,
काफी दिलचस्प है, you know.
Okay, okay.
Um,
They're also
so
very
it's like,
well known for child rape.
oh, dude, is that where it is? They prosecute those cases?
No, that's where it happens.
Oh, no way, man.
Yeah. Belgium has a history for that. Like, there's a movie called In Bruges where they make fun of Belgians. With Colin Firth. Not Colin Firth. It's somebody else. But it's a decent movie.
But yeah, man, it's an interesting country, you know. Like, at least the French part, like,
Yeah.
and I guess I should probably be specific, like Brussels in particular.
Yeah.
Brussels would be a very interesting.
They also have
experience.
good chocolate. I would go for the chocolate.
Yeah, 100%. The best chocolates in my experience are like Swiss or Belgian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this one box for Christmas. That was like, that was a mix of Belgian and Swiss chocolates.
Nice.
And they made it be a better present. Like, this is like the perfect mix of chocolates, you know.
Yeah, and buddy, by the way, like the best hot chocolate in the world, in my opinion, is at a cafe called Angelina in Paris. So I think we should do that as well. There's one here, but I want to do the OG.
Dude, that would be the move, man. Especially on like a winter day.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah, but we're almost at the hour mark. We have traveled quite far. I think we're missing out on a few places. You want to do a quick run of anything we're missing?
Let's, on the next one, let's start with a quick recap.
Alright, it's a better idea. Yeah, so what do you want to call this one? Midnight in Paris?
Yeah, Midnight in Paris.
Alright, so this is, to anybody who doesn't know, Midnight in Paris is also a movie by Woody Allen, I think, and it's one of our favorite movies because it involves, Paris, midnight, and rioters, and bevafai, and love. So, this has been episode 4 of season 2 of Wonder Stories with Kaishan and Fess. Midnight in Paris. We will see you in the next one.